Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. Today's lesson is Bruce's Bobby Jean. This is a live acoustic version from the Ghost of Tom Joad tour. Thanks very much to Carl Sutton, our first patron request, for requesting this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for notifications. Also be sure to follow to the end of the video just in case I go through any parts that aren't in the walkthrough. So what I'll do now is play the whole song through and then come back and go through all the individual parts. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what I'm going to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, so for this version of the song, we're going to go Capo 3 and the song is in E flat major. Okay, so what we're going to do first is learn the strumming pattern. Okay, so this is my suggested strumming pattern, which I think he does most of the song. It's a 2-beat pattern, and you're going to go, strumming wise, you're going to go down, down, up, down, up. Now, if you wanted to count that, you've got 2 quavers, 4 semi-quavers, and one of them is tied. So this is what happens. You've got 1 and 2 E and a. And then that's doubled up to make a whole bar. So 1 and 2 E and a, 3 and 4 E and a. Classic Bruce Scott strumming pattern, and it's really good, especially if you can count that out loud as well. It'll be good for your rhythm play. So what we'll do that's the main strumming pattern. I'm going to go show some of the variations as well. The thing is with this song, and a lot of Bruce's songs that he plays acoustically, he'll kind of add a bar here, take a bar out there, he changes it completely. So I wanted to show you all the main bits that he's doing and a lot of the variations that he does, so you can it's pretty much close to the original, all the main bits. You don't want to put every nitty gritty bit in because it'll change it from one gig to the next. This is pretty much very close to the track that I received from Carl Sutton. So thanks for that, Carl. So okay, so what I'm going to do first is go through the intro. So what we've got: C major, then C over B. Go through that in a sec. A minor 7, C over G, F major 7 over C, then 2 bars of C, and then G, G sus4, and then G. Okay, so those chords, what we've got is in the tab in the walkthrough, it's a funny chord that Guitar Pro came out with, which is C major 7 over B. But in the song structure, which I'll also put up on the screen now, I'm going to call it C over B, just for simplicity. So it's basically C major, that's your first chord, and then middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. So it creates this kind of nice passing chord, which Bruce does a lot, and it sounds amazing. So C major, then C over B, and then A minor 7, all you're doing is putting your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. Okay, and then you've got C over G. So the C over G is basically, it's like you've got the C major chord, and then you're moving the 3rd finger to the 3rd fret of the E string. Okay, and you're blocking out the A string naturally with your 3rd finger, just the underside of your 3rd finger. Sounds amazing. So yes, that's the first 4 chords: C, C over B, A minor 7, C over G, and then F major 7 over C. I think he's playing something like this. I think sometimes he might also play this kind of C add 11 chord, just amazing. Which is, so these are different options. C add 11, which we are going to do it in a minute as well, in some of the variations. So C add 11 is from the A string, 3 3 0 1 0. Okay, but in the tab, the majority of your verses, you'll do F major 7 over C, which is 3 3 2 1 0. Very common chord that Bruce uses, and it sounds awesome. Okay, it saves you barring, and also it's actually kind of a richer chord with the E string as well. So that's F major 7, or sometimes you can, or if you wanted to, you could play a C add 11 instead of all the F major 7s over C. So they've got funny titles, but they're not too difficult to play, and they sound amazing. Okay, so and then you've got 2 bars of C in the intro. Okay, so then you've got this split bar. So again, with my song structures, again, that'll be in the description. The way I do my song structures is I sometimes put chords in brackets. That just means that there's more than one chord in that particular bar. Okay, so make sure you check the walkthrough and obviously slow down the video using the cog icon in YouTube, which you can do. You can do it in any video, and that will help you with the timing as well. Okay, so this split bar, so this is the G to G sus4, okay, and I think he does that and he changes it up a little bit, but this is the main one I think he does, which is G major, and then he adds his 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string to create a G sus4 chord, which sounds amazing. So 1 and 2 and 3, so you've got 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. So we're going to take the same strumming pattern, but in the last 3 strums you can add that 1st finger. Okay, you can also add it earlier in the bar and mix it up as well, which is what Bruce does. But this is what I think he does a lot of the time in this song. So you've got 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. So this is that first G to G sus4 split bar that's in the intro and also in a lot of the other parts. And then you just got a bar of G after that. Cool, so what I'm going to do is run through that whole intro section. Again, the chords sound a lot harder than they actually are, it's just because of how the music theory works, but actually it's not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to go through the intro. So C, C over B, A minor 7, C over G, F major 7 over C, then 2 bars of C, then G. So that bar of G to G sus4 again was 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Okay, again feel free to add your own embellishments on that as well. Cool, so then basically for a lot of the other verses he does it slightly differently each time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through the variations. Okay, so in the second verse what we've got is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th bar. He actually goes to a C to C add 11. Okay, so don't forget to follow the walkthrough and also use this song structure to help you with the order. Or you can kind of get away with doing not doing all these embellishments, but I think it sounds really nice and it's a good thing to learn as well. So so this is the 7th bar of the second verse, and he's going to go from the C and he's going to add his little finger, so it produces this C add 11 chord, which just sounds amazing. So it's again the same strumming pattern. All you're doing in this bar, so this is the 7th bar in the second verse, is add his little finger on the second strum. So it's this 1 and 2 E and a 3 and cool. Okay, and then he goes back to so that's the second verse is very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First six bars are the same as in your intro, and then you just got the that bar that I just showed you there, and then you just got back your G to G sus4 bar that we did earlier. Okay, cool. So then you've got the break sections. So I'm going to go through the break sections individually. So the first break, this is in between the second verse, third verse, the fourth verse and the harmonica solo, and the 6th verse and the outro again. So it's good to kind of play along with the walkthrough and also check that song structure for the order of the song. Cool, okay, so the first break is also exactly the same as the second break. So what we're going to do, is going to do a split bar of C, and then C add 11, and then C and G. So you're going to go 1, 1 and 2 E and a. And then you're going to do semi-quaver strumming, or 16th notes. 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So that sounds really nice. So you got 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, so with your G you can kind of play it. Bruce normally plays it with his second, third and fourth finger, or you could even just play it with your third and fourth finger blocking out the A string. So this is the first and second break, so I'm going to go through that again. So you've got C, C add 11, C and then G, and then half a bar of each. So different strumming pattern, 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 E and a, 3. So it's quite cool. So that's the first and the second breaks. Cool, okay, so now the only other variation I can think of in the fourth verse is this C add 11 chord, but instead of doing what we did in the second verse and just do one strum of the C into the C add 11, we're just going to do a full bar of C add 11. So we're going to do 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Okay, so I'll show you that again. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Cool, okay, and then you've got the third break. So the only difference in this third break, because he's kind of building it up to go into this final harmonica solo, he's going to do the 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the same as the first and second breaks. And then he's kind of doing this kind of constant strumming. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. That last bar is just semi-quavers. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, so I'll show you that third break again. 1 and 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, you can also add some more 16th notes maybe in the previous bar as well. So something like, and mix it up. As long as you've got the right down and up strokes, it should sound pretty cool. Cool, so that's the third break, and now I'm going to go through the middle 8 section. Okay, so the middle 8 section, we've got 2 bars of F major 7 over C. So 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2. Then 1 bar of C, and then A minor. So unlike the A minor 7 that we've had before, it's a full A minor. So 0, 2, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so this is the 4th bar of the middle 8, so just go through that again. F major 7, for 2 bars, C major, then A minor, it goes back to F major 7 for 2 bars. Okay, then C major, and then a split bar of G to G sus4, okay? Okay, so that split bar I think also happens in the end of the 3rd verse as well. Okay, so you've got 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Okay, so that's simply just doing the main strumming pattern, splitting it in half, and then doing first half G, second half G sus4. Okay, so you've got 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Okay, so that G again, you can play it like that, or without the middle finger, block off the A string, and then the G sus4 with that first finger on the B string. Okay? Yeah, so when it comes to the G and the G sus4 bars, all we're going to do is there's 2 variations. There's the split bar that I just showed you, which you use in the 3rd verse, end of the 3rd verse, and also in the middle 8, and the 5th bar of the middle 8. And then you've just got that normal bit that we did in the intro, which is the 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. So it's quite nice to play around with those because it's some really common kind of strumming patterns and chord changes there. It sounds really nice. Cool, and then after, so bar 5 was that G, that split bar, and then bar 6 is just a normal bar of G. Okay, cool, so that's the middle 8. So I'm just going to show you that middle 8 one more time. F major 7. 1 more bar. C major. A minor. F major 7. Again. And then C major. Split bar. And G major. Cool. So it sounds really nice. There's really nice full sounding chords there. And yeah, again, there's not much difference. He's kind of playing that sort of same loop and then just changing it up slightly for most of the song. So that's the C, C over B, A minor 7, C over G, F major 7, and then a combination of C's and then G and G sus4s, really. So yeah, you can play around with it as much as you want as well. Cool, and then you've got the outro, just the final bar. So the final bar, just the way he ends it. You're going to start on C, and then you're going to go to C add 11 with your little finger, and then finish on the C. So the rhythm is this: 1 and 2 E and 3, 4, something like that. Okay, so I'll show you that again. So 1 and 2 E and 3, 4. Cool. Okay, so that's pretty much all the parts. So the main thing here really is getting the strumming. So getting that really nice 2-beat pattern sounding really cool. Okay, and then obviously doing the chord order. So a lot of the verses and sections start with that C, C over B, A minor 7, C over G, F major 7, and then some kind of C. And it's the variations. Again, so I'll recap those variations. So C to C add 11 in the 2nd verse, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. And then you got the G to G sus4. The first split bar is where you do the G sus4 at the end, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and the second the first variation on that is the G to G sus4, where it's just a split bar. then you've got a full C add 11 bar in the 4th verse, I think it is. Yep. So 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a. Cool. And then you've just got sort of the break sections, which are pretty much the same, the first and the second ones, exactly the same, the first and second ones. And then the third break is the second bar's just that. So I'll just play those break sections again. So you've got 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2. Okay, so that was the C to the C sus4 and then the C to the G. So cool. And then you've got that final bar of the song, which is 1 and 2 E and 3, 4. Cool, so it's actually quite a simple song. I quite enjoyed making this one. I hadn't actually heard this before, so it was pretty cool. I'm always up for listening to new versions. And that's the great thing about Bruce, is it's different every time, and he's just got, you know, the acoustic versions are completely different to the album versions, which makes it interesting, and obviously it's why he's so awesome. Okay, cool. So thanks again for Carl for requesting this one. So what I'm also going to do is put up the tab on the screen for a patron, so you'll be able to access that if you sign up to the Patreon account. Cool, but I'm hoping you found this video useful and enjoy the video. And don't forget to go to patreon.com/Bruce Springsteen Guitar if you fancied signing up for the backing tracks or PDFs or last week's Alan and Razor Kane solo video. And any comments or suggestions, feel free to put those in the comment section. Give it a thumbs up if you've liked the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week. Cheers, bye.